Hello.
This has been a theme for our intros lately.
Hello.
Hello. That's how we start our podcast.
Mm-hmm.
We were just talking about how we need an intro, we think, at this point.
Right.
We're open to suggestions.
Yes.
If anyone wants to send us a message and a type of music or sound or something. But we're going to come up with something soon, and we're going to sound super professional.
That's right.
So y'all take us seriously.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll explain what our podcast, that's probably what the intro would be about, right?
Yeah, you explain what, like, the themes that we somewhat talk about and who we are.
We should do that right now.
We should?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Put me on the spot.
Okay, so our podcast is about the two of us. We are sisters, and we live together.
We're not recording this for our intro right now, are we?
No.
Okay.
I'm just, if
someone's new listening.
Exactly.
Okay. Hi, new listener.
Yes. You can't assume that this is
everybody
like
starts at the beginning.
Right. No.
Right. Okay.
Someone's just going to happen upon this episode.
Right.
And they're not going to know what it's about.
Okay.
Other than it says our manifestation journey. Hence, you need an intro to give the person a...
Because they're a new listener.
Exactly.
We should definitely get on that then. Okay,
so,
continue.
We are sisters.
Yes.
We live together.
Yes.
We also live with our husbands.
Yes.
And you have a 15-month-old almost.
Yes.
And you are pregnant right now.
And I'm 35 weeks pregnant right now.
So you're about to have a baby very soon.
That's right.
And we've been living together for years, and we love it. And at first it was kind of like a necessity or something, and we grew to realize that it was something that we really enjoy and we benefit immensely from. Mm-hmm. And recently, I guess within the last couple of months, we have decided to put more intention on what we want to manifest, and we started to do more actionable activities. And it's the baby monitor.
I should mute that.
Also, we should mention that we are all about real life. Hence, baby monitors, puppies, crying children,
husbands,
and knocking on doors. Snowmobiles, yes. You'll hear all these things. Anyways, that's an intro for us.
Yeah.
And we've done a few podcasts so far documenting our journey. Mm-hmm. And our ultimate goal as of right now is to manifest our dream home.
Yeah.
And like we said, we were doing all these things, and we're just kind of documenting our highs and lows of this manifestation journey.
Yeah. I mean, the house obviously is a huge marker.
Totally.
For like a destination, but I personally believe that this podcast is going to go much further than that. I think it's just going to be one of the kind of pit stops along to up-leveling our lives, but right now, I mean, the only clue or sign that we have towards the house is that we have a set of blueprints that need to be edited and changed. Other than that, there are no clues. We're starting from scratch with that one.
Yeah, and well, we have the property.
We have the property
in mind.
Yeah.
We don't, but like building has not started.
No. We don't even know how that's going to go.
Approval for building hasn't even started.
A down payment for a builder's mortgage.
Nothing except our very detailed drawing of the house we want.
Yeah.
Which needs to be revised.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're very much starting on square one on that one, and that is our ultimate goal.
Well, there's all these other little things that we want along the way.
Yeah, and I mean, when I say ultimate goal, I don't mean like, oh, we've done it. Like once we get there, of course, there's going to be more things that we want along the way.
Right.
But that will be a huge indicator, like that we are definitely up-leveling our lives.
Yeah. Yes.
So today's episode, we've agreed, is about doubt.
Yeah.
Because like we said, we have this goal. We have other goals too, but...
So many goals.
Doubt definitely creeps in.
Yeah.
And smacks you down in the face.
It does.
Almost to the ground.
I know.
Until you're a pile of rubble.
And the solution to that is supposed to be, oh, you do things or you think of things that make you feel good.
Mm-hmm.
Which works sort of. But then the ideas creep in.
Mm-hmm.
Those like human annoying thoughts creep in.
Yeah.
And
Do you
you're
have a
like,
specific
I have
example?
so many examples.
Like, I'm looking forward to hearing them, even though this sounds like a bit of a downer episode.
I'm hoping it's a relatable episode. I'm
It will
hoping
be.
it's like people are like, listen to these manifestation journey sisters and everything's working out for them. And oh my God, they see all these numbers, blah, blah, blah.
Considering our last episode was just like, oh my God, you're getting a Mercedes. You have to watch. You have to listen to our last episode.
Yeah.
Anywho, now we're on to doubt. So maybe it's an indication of no. Maybe that's too far. But
I think it's a bit far. But I can talk about. that. I can talk about some things that happened in the last episode. Well, I think I first want to start off with. That's one of our dogs just being. I don't even know what's happening. So, yeah, I want to start off with the meditation that I did last week.
Okay.
That was like crazy. And I think like the reason why this meditation sort of came about, or it was a visualization that I had within a meditation. I think I should be more specific. But I was having a hard go with that commercial that I was trying to do last week.
Mm-hmm.
So I was just finding it obviously super overwhelming, and the commercial went really well. Like, I don't know how we pulled that off. Like, I definitely feel like the universe just had my back. And I was honestly feeling super, like, flying high for a couple of days. You saw my attitude.
I did.
I was, like, in a really good mood for, like, 4 days straight.
Yeah.
It was awesome. There was still doubt, but I had a lot of certainty. Like, blind certainty that this was going to work out. I didn't know how it was going to work out. But I was just having so much fun that it never really crossed my mind that it wouldn't work out. And it did work out. Like, it's crazy how it worked out. Like, you know, we had to change locations like super last minute, and we didn't have an actor until it was
Day
like
before.
it was like 24 hours before.
Yeah.
Like, it was nuts. Like, how we pulled it together was insane. But it turned out really beautiful. I'm really proud of it. And it's going to be released soon once we have the client's full approval. And like, it was like special to me only because it was like, I'd been telling Sam, you know, that what I want to do is basically get paid to make short films. And so she'd suggested like, I make my own and just like, you know, get it into the world, and clients will kind of come to us for it. But once I had the mentality that I was already doing that, because I started working on basically a short film that we could make into a commercial for the company as a marketing thing. And once I had written a script and like, you know, it's like, okay, cool, like that's done, that'll get made, da-da-da. As soon as I had committed to that and done it, then a brand new client came to us and asked us to make a short film for them.
Yeah.
So once I'd already, you know, accepted that that was a part of my life,
Right.
then I actually got paid to make a short film.
Like, how cool is that? That is manifesting right there.
Totally is.
Like, planning it out. And what's funny about the planning it out is that legit plan it out, which you did. Like, legitimately pick a location, like
I was doing all the things.
Like, you really are doing it.
Yeah.
You really were thinking that you were going to do it. And then
this one came up and totally took over.
And paid and gave you money.
And gave us money for it.
So, yeah, that is very, very good manifesting.
It is.
Manifesting.
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 Yeah, that's exactly what happened.
Yeah, like, good job.
And it was amazing. Like, I felt all the feels, and it was, like, wonderful. So I think I was, like, maybe coming down off of that. I don't know. I can't honestly remember the exact day that I had this visualization. But anyway, I was meditating. And it wasn't, like, the strongest meditation that I've had. Like, some meditations that I've had, if you've listened to previous podcasts, like, have been really crazy kind of, like, the whole time. Like, it's been, like, a roller coaster of a ride. And this last one, it was like I was having a hard time like getting into the groove. I was having a hard time like, I don't know, just getting to that place where you're just like numb and like light and all that jazz. And so it was kind of like one final attempt, and I was like, okay, like, sorry, I'm gonna yawn because I'm pregnant. Sorry. So I was like, okay, like one last attempt. I'm gonna try this. You know, I'm gonna try listening to my breath, or I'm gonna try listening to, because I listen to this like calming meditation music or whatever. I'm trying to focus on that. Blah blah blah. So finally, I get into this space, and I'm not sort of second guessing it. I'm kind of just letting it happen, and then all of a sudden, I'm on a tightrope with my hand attached to like the top of a building, like the side of a building. I hope I'm explaining this
Sounds good to me.
okay, properly. So yeah,
I mean, it doesn't sound good.
no,
But I
it
understand what you're
was
saying.
not a fun feeling.
Right.
Standing on a tightrope, I can see the tightrope going across. I'm not really paying attention to where it's attached to, but I guess it was attached to another building. But you could just see like a urban landscape below, and I kind of look over to like my left a little bit, and there was like a feeling of it being there. It wasn't like a person. It wasn't like a orb. Like I didn't really look. It's weird. It's not like I looked directly at it. I just had a sense that there was a being to my left. And they said, let go. And I was like, hell no. I'm not letting go. This is ridiculous. I was like, no, you gotta let go. So I'm like, all right. I'm like looking down and like, whatever. They're like, that's source. That has to be source. They're not gonna let me fall. I know I'm sitting in my chair. It's fine. What's worse that can happen? So I let go, and of course I don't fall. And I'm like, okay, now what? I'm kind of looking, and I don't know if this was source or me at this point, but I just was like, I need to take a step. That's what this is for. Like I can see the rope in front of me. Like I have to just do it. And so that was really scary, but I finally took a step. Nothing happened. I took another step and nothing happened. I'm like, okay, like this is kind of cool. It's so terrifying, but it's okay. And then I took the third step, and the entire visualization changed in that second, and revealed the tightrope disappeared, everything disappeared, and I was suddenly in a forest on this path, and it was like this gorgeous path with like butterflies and like lovely glowing light, and like it was just like and instantly I was like, oh, this is nice. Like what a beautiful place to be. And the source was there in the second part too, and was like, the reaction was like, see. And I was like floored by it, and I started crying.
Oh,
because I was
that's
like,
just so
this
crazy.
is what happens when you trust, right?
Yeah. What a great metaphor. Holy moly.
I know. And I'm like, I was saying, because I told Sam about this like a couple of days ago, and was just like, I can't think up that shit. There's no way.
No.
Like when you're
that's
meditating, I'm like,
creative.
right?
Yeah. Especially when you're meditating.
Right, because you're supposed to just be receiving.
Yeah.
But sometimes your brain goes squirrely. Like sometimes your brain like goes on these tangents or whatever.
That's true.
So I was like, I don't know. I wasn't actively thinking like, metaphors for letting go. Like,
right.
I wasn't having that.
Building.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It just happened.
I understand, because it's interesting. It's almost like, you know, when you're dreaming and you don't feel like you have any choice on what you're dreaming about, really. It just like happens.
Yeah.
And then as it's happening, you start to kind of move with it and make decisions in the dream, and make, you start to really,
like, how much is this subconscious and how much is this conscious?
well, yeah, you start to kind of be a little bit, there's more autonomy used once you start to recognize, oh, I'm in a dream, right? So then you start to make some creative moves. But yeah, I mean, it's pretty cool. Like, it's so brilliant.
It really is. And it's I found that it was like, oh, okay, like this is really good. Like, this is going to help me. I have this visualization, and it's going to help me. And, all my doubts going to disappear. Yeah, that's wishful thinking.
Okay, so yeah. So
Yeah.
you've been wanting to talk about doubt, and you've had this tightrope
Yeah,
/
visualization.
path Pocahontas reveal the woods
Yeah.
kind of thing.
Right.
And you want to talk about doubt.
Yeah, because it keeps creeping in. Like, it keeps, like, I don't know, like, I had this amazing project last week, and it was, like, crazy and so exciting and so much fun, and, like, it was a blasty blast, you know?
Yeah.
And then, I don't know, like, I've been finding, like, I'm having, like, these dips now are coming in where, like, I'm just not having as much confidence in getting things done or something. It's so bizarre.
Yeah.
'Cause, like, I just proved to myself that.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Like, I was just there.
Yeah.
Like, how easily is it for me to friggin' forget that I
Yes.
was just there?
Yes.
You know, and we're doing all of these amazing things, and, like, you know, we could talk about your post a little bit, but, like, you know, like, we've got all the books, and I'm doing all the cards, and, you know, at one point I'm, like, pulling out my divine guidance cards, which I absolutely love.
Yes.
Like, I still love them. It's been months. And then the one day I was pulling them out, and I'm like, is this hullabaloo? Is everything I'm doing stupid? Am I stupid? Have I fallen for this culty way of thinking?
Yeah.
Am I crazy?
Yeah.
Like, what do you mean law of attraction? Like, none of this, like, there's so many people in the world that aren't doing this. Like, my mind was just like, brrr, like, it was just going. And I'm like, why? What is with the self-sabotage?
Yeah.
Because I've been enjoying this whole process.
Right.
Who is this little voice in my head that's like,
so mean?
Yeah. And, like, poking fun. Yeah, it's like a little bully or something. You know? Like, poking fun at what I'm doing and not trusting it.
Yeah.
I'm like, man, I need to figure this out. Like,
I think that's, I mean, when you put it like that, I remember when somebody was like, oh, I want to hire you. And I was thinking, you know, it's going to be like $4,000, which was something I needed to manifest a couple of days ago. They call me, whatever. So, like, I basically have manifested this $4,000, right? And I was really happy and really excited. But then days later,
right.
I was like, yeah, but is it real?
Right. Exactly.
Because it's like, part of it is you don't want to be let down. Like, you don't want to
fall for it.
Like, have all these false hopes. Because
right.
you do really want these things.
Yeah.
You know, like, your whole heart and your whole being wants these things.
Right.
And so to, like, let yourself want them.
Right.
And visualize them.
Right.
With the...
And be excited
and
about
fall
it.
in love with them.
Right.
And there's, like, this possibility that all of it is not going to happen.
Right.
It's like, well, it's extremely hurtful for me to really invest in my dream.
Yeah.
If there's a possibility it's not going to happen.
And not just personally, but, like, publicly and socially. Like, we're putting ourselves out there with so much vulnerability.
Yeah.
And so much, like, we're trying this thing, and, like, we're excited about it. I'm, like, genuinely excited about it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But I'm just, like, I don't know. It's this weird, like, weak moment that I'm just like, man, like, this roller coaster we're on.
It's okay.
I know.
It's okay. Like,
I do know that it's okay.
And Abraham would say, you know, like, don't take stock on where you are. Right? Like, don't. I just listened to this actually last night. It was just this metaphor that if there was buried treasure in your backyard, you'd go about digging every square inch of your backyard and not being able to find it, getting bigger machinery to do it, getting people to help you do it, just making a big mess out of it. And it's because you're not finding it because you are where you are. You're not where you...
It's not like the destination or the end of the journey. It's like you're on the path to where you're going. Yeah. Why would you dig for buried treasure when you're still on the path?
Right.
You're not there yet.
Right.
Stop digging.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just you're not in a position to find it because you're not there yet.
Right.
So
but then you're like so impatient.
Exactly. And that's another thing that Abraham talks about
Yeah.
is just the
Just let it
impatience is like,
go.
yeah, it's that's resistance. You know, being impatient is resistance. There's such a balance. There's this incredibly fine line between asking for something and then letting go. There's this really fine line because
Yeah.
you get so excited about it and then you're just like, oh, that would be so awesome if that happened. And then you just like you just get married into it and you're like devoted to it and you're just like, I really hope you freaking work out. And then that's when it spirals out of control.
Right. Because you're like, where is it?
Yeah.
It's been months.
And it has been months.
Yeah.
It's December.
Yeah. Supposed to be a big month this month. According to the psychics.
It's December 3rd, so
yeah. There's a lot of month left. We should probably follow up on my car situation. So the car, we found out the posting of the car that we'd found in Toronto. Should I recap what happened a little bit?
Yeah.
I should recap a little bit. So during that crazy, like, flying high wild week that I had, Nathan, my husband, was messaging me about my dream car and that he'd found it in Toronto, and it was like, you know, affordable, and it was like amazing. Like, it was all wonderful. But the posting had been left up and it was actually sold 2 days earlier.
Ugh.
Wah, wah.
Yeah.
So that's okay though, because I've decided the universe has something better for me coming.
Right.
It's going to be nicer, less mileage, more affordable, cleaner, blah, blah, blah. Decided it's like cooking up something great. But it just wanted to show me that they're out there. And then I can have what I want. Then I haven't stopped seeing the car. The car still pops up. So I'm like, I see that as kind of like a fun thing that I'm manifesting. So that's kind of how I'm trying to look at it. Like, it's just like something fun that, as an exercise, you know? So it's not like too heavy or too overwhelming or too like, I'm going to fail if I don't manifest this car. It's more like, this is going to be so fun. So I'm trying to look at it that way. And then there's like a lump sum of money that I wrote myself a check for.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
September.
Yeah.
That I said was going to come in December. So again, this is what I've been having a lot of doubt over, is that.
Okay.
But among other things, but this is one of them. And I don't really know where that's coming from.
The doubt?
Yeah, of that, because I've been so excited up until this point, but it's like once December hit, I was like,
yeah.
Oh my god, I set a timeline, and now we're in the month, and
it's
now
not here.
now it's scary.
Now
It's scary because
like
what if it doesn't happen?
It's a serious countdown. Yeah.
But I'm still attempting to just let it go.
Right.
So that's a big thing.
Yeah.
But we'll see what happens.
Yes.
There will be a.
Tell us what you're manifesting. Tell us the number.
The number is 20,000.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you want an additional $20,000 in your bank account.
Yep.
Okay.
And then I want 10,000 a month after that.
Okay. I'm manifesting $4,000 this month. Yeah. So what's been interesting is because I quit 2 jobs, basically. I quit.
Well, and I'm about to go on mat leave and have a baby.
So
it seems quite unrealistic, folks, but
right?
Here we are.
Like,
yeah.
Yesterday, Monday, marks my official day of not looking after the baby.
Yeah.
Which I was getting paid for.
Right.
And I'm not employed by the other group, so I'm on my own. I have the Airbnb that I'm looking after, and I have some projects that I'm working on, so some interior design projects, and I have this new business idea that I'm working on, and I want to manifest $4,000 for this month.
Right.
I manifested $2,000 last month. Somebody wrote me a check for $2,000.
Right.
And I want to manifest 4,000. I realized that I need 4,000 for my expenses. So I'm like, that's kind of interesting because I had 4,000.
Right.
And I need 4,000.
Right.
So am I manifesting to have my expenses paid, or am I manifesting 8,000
Right.
to have my expenses paid and an additional 4,000?
Right.
It's very the reason why I'm being so specific is because you have to be specific
Right.
when you ask.
Right.
So I'm starting to get confused about what I want,
Yeah.
because if they give me 4,000, I'm like, that's exactly what I asked for.
Right.
But now I don't have it because I just paid for
Right.
my
It's funny that you're
expenses.
saying that, because my original number to write down for my original check was 10,000.
Mm-hmm.
And then I upped it because I'm like, no, because this is where I want the money to go.
Right.
So the 20,000 is a number that makes sense for things that I want to pay off, like my credit card and other things.
Yeah.
So, and to still have some like for Christmas and things that I'm looking forward to for next year, and like all these other things. Like, it's like I have, honestly, and I haven't written it down, which I probably should. And I did see today, I saw 999 on a license plate, and I looked it up for under Catherine Zinkina's manifestation babe, under her cheat sheet.
Yeah.
And it said like, you have to finish something.
Okay.
You need to finish something because it's going to bring you to the next level. So I'm like, oh, I wonder what that means. Like, does that mean record a podcast? Does that mean like I have her book, but I've only just started doing, like, maybe I should really take her book seriously and like finish the book. Right. Like, there's things that, or like, is it a project at work, or like all of these things that I've been working on? I'm not really sure, but I do like the way that her book makes me feel. Makes me feel like I have control. It makes me feel like money's not scary. So maybe I should like dig in a little bit deeper in that sense. So yeah, I want to take a look at that. And then, hello. Hi. Okay. Okay, bye. That was my husband grabbing the baby monitor. So yeah, that's one of the things that I've been like struggling with. And then another thing, it feels like this like whole list. I hope I'm not like depressing anybody. Please don't like turn us off. So another thing that I've been struggling with lately is labor coming up.
Oh.
I know.
Interesting.
It's flying out of nowhere.
Okay.
So I had a C-section last time, very unplanned. I tried to have a home birth, and nobody knew the baby was breech. So it's kind of impossible to have a home birth with a breech baby. So the labor actually progressed super quickly for a first time, like from my water breaking to being able to push was like 6 hours. But then he wasn't coming. So I had to go to the hospital, and it was very dramatic. And then ending in a C-section, and like now I know the recovery time of the C-section, and like I had done all of this prep for labor. Like I like did everything like by the book. And it just didn't work out. So now these thoughts are like creeping in. Whereas up until this point, I've been like, it's going to be quick and smooth, efficient, natural labor, no big deal, blah, blah, blah. Like, I've been not even thinking about it. And then all of a sudden, as we're getting closer, these thoughts are creeping in. Like, it's so annoying, too, because I know what not to think.
Yeah.
And those are the thoughts that are coming through. Like, it's like, you know what it's like to have a C-section. I don't want to have that recovery time again. I don't want. It's like, hello. Stop that. Don't say I don't want, because guess what? The universe is going to bring that to you. And the reason it's like complicated is because I feel like even last time, I don't even feel like I spent a lot of time or energy thinking about what I didn't want last time.
Yeah.
I didn't like put C-section into my vocabulary really last time.
Right.
Or what I thought. Maybe obviously I did. Maybe it was a part of my vibration and I wasn't
aware of it?
Or I wasn't paying attention. I don't know. But that's the part that's scaring me. Because I'm like, I know what I want.
Yeah.
Right? And like, of course I can't like really visualize it specifically because I've never done it
right
all the way through.
Yes.
But I did mention these thoughts to a woman that runs a course. She's Canadian, and it's called Love Your Labor. And so I messaged her long time ago, and she was talking about visualizing your natural labor, and it's okay to like try and manifest, and it's okay to commit, and it's okay to love and trust and all that stuff. And so I sent her a private message because I was just like, I'm having a really hard time with this because I believe everything you're saying. I believe in the law of attraction. I believe in manifesting. I believe in visualization. But these thoughts creep in because I had a C-section last time, and I just need your help. And so she, oh my God, out of the kindness of her heart, because she's amazing, she created a visualization for me. And the first time I heard it, I cried from start to finish because I just wanted it so badly.
Ugh, I cried. I'm not even pregnant. And haven't had a baby or anything. And it was so good.
She just killed it, right?
Yeah.
And like,
so good.
made you feel all the feels. And so I've listened to it once since then. I didn't cry the second time.
Wow.
So that's really good. So it's like I've been afraid to listen to it again. It's like I'm afraid to like commit. I'm afraid. I'm just afraid. It's just stupid. And like this pregnancy has been really different than the last one because the last one I took a month off before George was born. And I'm not doing that this time because number one, I don't really have a choice. I have to work a certain amount of hours to get maternity leave. So like I have to do that. So ideally this baby, I mean if the baby comes on the 10th, like the Ouija board said, then I'll have to forge some working hours. But yeah, so we'll see how that goes. But yeah, like it's been a struggle to try and shake myself out of those doubtful feelings.
Yeah.
It's not easy.
No.
It's because I've experienced the other thing. You know, it's easy to let those memories come creeping in because I've experienced them.
It's because the idea of like your worst situation happening, your worst fear happening, or whatever it is.
Yeah.
What you want not coming true, or all those things. They're in some ways they're worse. Like this is a random example, but like football teams say they'd rather the idea of winning isn't about winning. It's the fact that they didn't lose.
Right.
They're more focused on the fact that they didn't lose than they actually won.
Right.
They're more relieved that they didn't lose.
Right. Yeah, which is so weird.
Than they won. So like the losses are so painful.
Right.
And so traumatizing to them. They want to avoid it at all costs.
Right.
The opposite of losing is winning.
Right.
Cool.
Let's win then.
Like screw winning. I just don't want to lose.
Right.
Right? It's like it's just it's painful. You've experienced pain before and it hurts.
Yeah. You're like, I don't want to do that again.
I know. I don't blame you. Yeah. Like it sucks.
But I also know that I do have the power to shape my reality, and I do have the power to bring things to me, and I've felt those feelings before as well. Right? I felt the feeling of the empowerment of law of attraction when you pull something in your life and you're like, holy moly.
Yeah.
I definitely did that.
Yeah.
You know? And, you know, you feel the same way with all the bad things you've attracted as well. But I know that it works. I felt the feelings for when it works. So it's just something that obviously there's resistance towards, and you're trying to figure out what that block is. And it's with something that's so big, something coming up that's so big that you seemingly, I mean, culturally and socially and all these other things, they tell you don't have control over it.
Yeah.
Right? And like you somewhat don't. Like, I don't know when this is going to happen.
Right.
Maybe this is a good metaphor for the universe, though. Right? Like going into labor, you don't know when you're going to go into labor.
Right.
You don't know when that's going to happen.
Right.
You don't know what the story's going to be. You don't know how it's going to unfold.
Yeah.
You do know that you want a baby.
You do know that you're having a baby.
You do know that you're having, it's going to happen.
Yeah.
Like, it's going to happen.
Right.
It's just a matter of when and how.
And you don't know those answers.
No. You have no idea how it's going to unfold.
Right.
But that's not your job.
Right. Your job is just to
breathe through it
and welcome
the result.
Yeah.
Happily.
Right.
Joyfully.
Which is what you want.
Enjoy the process.
Yeah.
Yeah. What a metaphor for life.
It is. Oh my gosh. The whole, like, we could totally do a separate podcast on that, but like,
yeah.
and we probably will.
Yeah. Yeah. Once the baby's born.
Once the baby, we'll have a podcast devoted to that whole experience. But yeah, like the whole birthing is like
circle of life thing.
Wonderful. There's so many wonderful metaphors in that whole experience. Yeah. For life. For the rest
labor
of your
alone.
Life. So many wonderful
And
things.
I've been thinking that too, because last time again, when I had that month off, I was like really prepping hard for labor, right?
Yes.
Like I was like doing all the yoga and all the like visualizations and eating all the right foods and walking every day, and like I was doing everything. And I haven't been doing that this time because I've been working. And so I'm not doing all the things that I did before. But I'm kind of like, I'm wondering if I am meditating every day. I don't know if I did that last time. I don't think I did. So this is like a completely different strategy, really, that I'm going in with.
That's true.
So, and it's all Abe-based. It's all like Abraham Hicks and law of attraction. And I honestly do feel that because I'm in my own head more, that going into labor is not going to scare me, because I know what it's like to be in your head in labor. It's kind of crazy.
Right.
Like, you don't care what's going on around you at all.
Yeah.
You come out for a second, you kind of look around, and hopefully someone has a glass of water for you. Right. Or is like going to help you with counter pressure or something.
Right.
And then you go back in. So it's kind of like meditating in a way. Because you go in and you're bye-bye. Like you don't, you know, like you're gone when you go back in. And it's just about, it genuinely is all in your head. If you're listening to this and you haven't gone through any labor at all, it's like, yeah, it's a mind game. The whole thing is a mind game. Which I honestly genuinely enjoyed that part last time, because I felt like
a badass.
Well, I just felt like a contraction would go by and I was like, no, I can do better.
Right.
Like it would go by and I was like, I didn't manage that one well. I got the next one, you know?
Right.
And then one would go through and I'd be like, yeah, I nailed that one.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
Next one comes and I'm like, yeah.
And
like,
you wanted another chance for another contraction.
Exactly.
Which, I mean, when have you ever heard that from any woman? I full on believe you, because I have experienced those kinds of things in my life too.
Right.
I mean, again, haven't had a baby, but like working out, when I'm working out, and I love my friggin' personal trainer. Like, I love that so much. I freaking love it. And he'd be like, let's see if you can do it like 10 times in a row.
Right.
And prior to that, I'd only been doing it 2 times in a row. Right. And it's just that idea of, yeah, okay, yeah, I will take that challenge. Right. And like, maybe I'll do 8, but like,
yeah,
it's just, that challenge, like to have that feeling of conquering, or like, it's just such a great feeling.
Yeah, and that's definitely how it is. And you get
practice at it.
Yeah, well, and they get more intense, and like, you get the next one, you're like, whoa, like you thought you could handle it, like you're like, bring it on, and then it comes on, and you're like, whoa, that was humbling. And then you're like, okay, like on to the next one, you know, like it's I found the quicker that I surrendered, the quicker it progressed. Which is, again, a metaphor for this whole experience, right? Like, and I know that going into labor now, like, it's like I have that under my belt. And I have all of this education. Like, you could argue I've been mentally prepping for this for months.
Right.
But just not physically prepping the way I did last time.
Right. Maybe all of this, you know, doubt and feeling down and everything, it is just, I mean, it's such a cliche or whatever, but it is just a part of the journey. Like, you are supposed to feel down.
I think so too. I think it's part of the human experience.
Right. You're not supposed to be,
it's not supposed to be super easy the whole time.
You need to have those lows.
Yeah.
I think like you might feel like you're veering off path a little bit. You're just like a little bit out of alignment, but
yeah, my vibration has changed.
Right, and that's okay.
Yeah.
That's okay. Just have grace and compassion, and like, no, okay, I don't feel well right now, and I'm just going to let myself feel that.
Right.
And then I'm going to get back.
Yeah.
I'm going to get back because I like feeling good.
Right.
I like feeling like I'm in a good vibe.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
I will definitely get back. But right now I just don't feel good, you know?
Well, and it's all these things of like, you know, that you're just not ready for that yet. Like, you know, if your vibration was aligned, then you'd have it. Right. So it's more like, okay, I think I've said this before on this podcast, but I don't know. I'm just really looking forward to the person that I'm going to be when I receive these things, right? Because I'm doing all of this work. I'm doing all of this like self-help stuff. I'm learning. I'm growing. I'm looking at the world differently. I'm looking at contrast, polarity, like all of these things in my life differently. So with enough practice at that and learning how to just enjoy the journey for what it is when it's happening in the present moment. And once you surrender to that, then the things happen, right? So I'm looking forward to kind of not perfecting this skill, because I don't think that's possible, but just honing it more and being better at it.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah. Becoming a bit more of a master at it.
Yeah. And just celebrating how far I've come with what I've learned, but then also knowing with certainty that the best is yet to come. Yeah. Right? And that it is coming.
Well, but you do know that the best is yet to come. You do. With all of your heart, you do know that. I don't think you need to, like, there shouldn't be doubt in that.
No.
Really? You're about to have a baby. Yeah. You don't even know what the baby looks like yet. Yeah. It's going to have a name and a face and, you know, and it's going to interact with George. And, like, there's literally so much to look forward to. The best is yet to come. But it is. Yeah. It's not something that you have to, like, seriously think about and convince yourself over.
No, I know that.
Do you actually know that?
I do know that.
Well, you have a baby. When it's coming out.
With the baby part isn't the part that I have doubt over.
Right, but I guess
the labor part is the part that I have doubt. Well, that I have been having doubt over.
Yeah. I guess I'm just extending it to, like,
the other things
in life,
using it as an example.
Exactly.
Of things, which I do think is fair. Yeah.
It's just a challenge, like running a marathon, and, you know, like your second marathon is coming up, right? And so it's like, how am I going to tackle this differently? Yeah.
Last time I broke my leg and was out for
and that's apparently the curse of a marathon. You do one, did all that training, get all hyped, you do it, and XYZ, actually A, B, C, all the way to Z goes wrong. Yeah. And then you're like, well, I want to do another one. And people are like, why? You just died and you want to do another one? It's like, I can do it. I know I can do it. Yeah.
And I felt that almost immediately after my last birth. Right. Was like, I need a do-over. Right. That was not fair.
You might need to have 3 marathons.
Oh, God. Well, and it was really sweet last night, too. Like, my husband's just been, he's just been so amazing. He's so amazing, he makes me cry. So he comes into the room last night, and I'm, like, kind of having a low point, and he's done all the things, and I'm just, like, being super tired and lazy pregnant lady. And I was upset because the cat got on my pillow. Yeah. And I was like, I'm really allergic to cats. Like, we have 2 cats, but I don't pet them, and they're not allowed on my bed because I get hives. So it's fine. Like, I can, like, breathe in the house or whatever. I just can't touch them. So anyway, the cat was on my pillow, and I was upset because he didn't make the bed, because if he had made the bed, then the cat wouldn't be on the pillow.
Meanwhile,
he's done all of the things.
Your son all
day. Yeah.
Laundry. Yeah. Lunch, breakfast, dinner.
He did everything.
Cleaning.
And I come in
all
like
the
this
things.
Bitchy pregnant lady.
The bed wasn't made.
The bed wasn't made. I was so, like, irritated with myself for even thinking it. And he comes in. This is what he says. He comes in, lays on the bed. He's like, I just want to spend a little bit of time with you. I was like, okay, that's really nice. And then he's like, I'm like, I start like tearing up, and he's like, "Are you okay?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm about to say something that's really unreasonable and awful." And he's like, "Okay, do you want a foot massage while you tell me?" And I'm like, "Stop being nice to me. I'm about to say something, the most unreasonable thing to you. I'm about to say something that's like,
You're like Rachel from Friends.
yeah." I'm like, like, it's not gonna be nice, you know. It's gonna be critical. It's gonna have no merit or logic, but I'm going to say it anyway. And he's just like, "Okay," and like so nice about it. And I like told him about the cat thing. He's like, "Okay, that's fine, no problem. Duly noted. I'll make the bed tomorrow." I'm like, like I want to say you don't have to, but then I'm like, no, I really want you to. Oh my god, the things that matter when you're pregnant. I swear to God, I'm like, ugh. It's like third person is like you need to stop. Third person Micki was like, "All right, that's enough." Anyway, so then he's on the bed talking about that. He's like, "That's no problem." And then he said, "What else do you need?" And I was like, "I think we really need to look at the love your labor stuff. I think we need to like revisit that." So he's like, "Okay." So he goes and gets his laptop. He comes back, and then he sits and listens to the entire partner doula section of the love your labor.
How long is that?
I think it was like 40 minutes.
Wow.
Yeah. And then there was another one about what to pack.
Wow.
So he's like, "I know you need to sleep, but so I'm going to take this and I'll finish this video." I was like, "Okay." Oh my God. You're so nice. I'm so awful. I'm so like bitchy and moody and tired and sore and sensitive and like I'm just like I'm so unattractive right now, and he's just the nicest person. Anyway, he was listening to that, and I'm like getting ready for bed while he's listening to it, and it was like super helpful stuff. Talks about like what the partner sees from the woman, like what it's, early labor and then active labor, and then like transition when the baby's like about to come out, like all of these things. Talks about all of it. And when he started listening, I had a lot of anxiety, which again for me is weird.
That is weird,
because I'm not someone that's prone to anxiety.
Nope.
Everyone gets a little dish and dash here and there, right? That's human. But like I'm not someone that suffers from like crippling anxiety,
right?
And he started listening to it, and I was getting anxious, and I was like, "Oh, here's this doubt again. This doubt's creeping in. Like, I just want to punch doubt in the face because I'm so sick of it." But then, by the time it was over, I felt a lot better.
Okay.
So that's progress.
Yes, that is.
Right?
Yeah.
Because it's like I was facing it. Yeah.
Yep.
And listening to it and accepting it, and then I was like, "Okay, this feels good.
Yes.
I think I need to watch more videos.
Yes.
I need to learn more things."
Yep.
Right?
And
like I need to
expose yourself to it.
Yeah.
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 Expose yourself with everything that can go right.
Exactly.
Be knowledgeable about what can go wrong and feel prepared in that.
Right.
But focus on what can go right.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, your mic's on.
I'm sorry if it's all
It's okay.
Focus on what can go right.
Yeah.
Be knowledgeable and educated about what might happen, like what you might have to be prepared for, but primarily focus on all the good stuff.
Yeah. That's what I'm trying to do.
Yeah. It's hard.
All the trying, right? You're not supposed to try.
No.
You're supposed to just enjoy.
Uh-huh.
The less you do, the more you do.
Papa. That's not it at all.
That's not it at all. Ugh. Anyway, I hope this wasn't a downer episode. I'm hoping that people took something away from it, or at least can relate to it, because
I'm sure that they can.
I do want to reiterate that like there's no part of me that doesn't think that this is legit. Like I really do think that the law of attraction is a thing. And
I've been reading too many books by too many people with too many examples
of it to not be true.
It has to be true.
Yeah.
It's I've read the craziest stories. Mm-hmm. The craziest stories. I'm like, come on.
So you should talk about the books that you've been reading.
I read Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. And it was adapted for kind of like modern day.
Yep.
That one was interesting. All about how the top wealthiest people, how they became wealthy, what their mindset was.
And this is the book that changed Jerry Hicks' life.
Yes.
And he's the one that cultivated a relationship with Abraham through his wife, Esther.
Right.
Yeah.
So it talks about all these different principles and qualities and how these, select people have a different way of looking at the world, different mindset, but they all have it in common.
Right.
So that's pretty promising.
Yeah.
It talks about universal and infinite intelligence in the book, which is, what we hear a lot of from Abraham and stuff.
Yeah.
So I finished that one, which is awesome. Like, I would totally use it as a resource. Like, I would go back to it and study it almost again.
Yeah. I've heard that the people that enjoy that book read it multiple times.
Yeah, there's a lot of information.
Like, you can't get it all in the first go.
No, there's a lot of information.
Yeah.
And then the book I'm reading now, which I'm almost finished, I started only a couple nights ago. You Are a Badass at Making Money by Jen Sincero, I think her last name is. It's very, very close to what Catherine Zinkina talks about. It's almost exactly the same, which is really nice to.
Yeah.
I just like being hit over the head with it.
Like, immersed.
Yeah. It's like I like reading the same thing over and over again.
Yeah. Till it becomes law, or like
exactly.
It's a belief in your head versus like trying to change your beliefs on your own. If you like submerge yourself in it.
Yeah.
Then it starts to just become a part of your reality and your existence because you're just immersed in it. It's like going like
it's a new reality.
It's like going to a new country and learning a new language. Like, immerse yourself in that language, and then that you'll start to speak it, which is what you're doing right now. And I'm a little bit envious of because I just have not had that time.
I will say, I don't know if I've ever mentioned this to you before, but I think that this is epic. I think.
Oh God!
I don't know if it's actually epic. Okay.
What a way to introduce something.
I think the reason why I'm doing so much work and why you witness me doing so much work is because I need to do that work.
You don't think I need to do the work?
I don't think that you don't not need what?
Try again.
I think that you need to do the work.
Yeah.
But I don't think you need to do as much of it as I do.
That is such a big compliment.
The reason why I say this is because Abraham says in their spiel, they say, if you listen to their morning meditation, the one that's like, this is a good day, whatever.
Go listen to it. Google it. Google Abraham Hicks Morning Rampage if you haven't already, because it's awesome.
Yes. Yeah. And in it, it says, I am going to go through this day as an emotional being.
Right.
And you've always been more emotional than me.
Yeah.
Always.
Yes.
And which has been really, has always been discredited to you. You've always tried to fight against it.
Yes.
And in this world, not only have you been fighting against it in like even within our family, but in society, logic is more accepted and more celebrated than emotion.
Yes.
And I've been using logic. I am more logical.
Yeah.
And it hasn't gotten me anywhere. It hasn't gotten me to a place where I experience joy.
Right.
It just doesn't.
Right.
So I've given up on it. Which is probably not...
Screw logic.
Yeah. Gotcha. I think I want to talk about that in another podcast. I want to talk about finding passion, and this is what I want to talk about.
Yeah, that should
logic
be our next one.
Yeah. So that aside, I think that, again, more compassion and grace for yourself, and you naturally have these abilities.
Right.
You are an emotional being, and you do run on emotions, and that's exactly how it should be done. And but you already have it.
Right.
And not that I don't have it.
No.
But I need to practice.
Cultivate it.
I need to use my emotional muscle more.
Right.
And you already have that.
I have a very strong emotional muscle.
Very good. And that's exactly what you need.
I don't know. I also think that logic is helpful.
I agree.
Because I feel like I don't know if I make my decisions on emotion. Sometimes I do, but I don't.
There's not.
I
There's
feel as though I
like
don't let them
zero
run
about
wild.
what Abraham says that is
Oh yeah, that's
logical.
Legit. That's true.
Right? It's all
Totally.
all like feeling. How do you feel? How does this make you feel?
Right.
Like you're gonna go into every situation based on how you feel. Like
Right.
it's just all emotional based. And if I don't like that, that gives you contrast. Like you have to go on based on how you feel. This is it's all about how you feel. It's like over and over and over and over again.
Yeah, they beat you over the head with that.
Right? So you are an emotional being. You really are.
Yes.
And therefore, you're a pro. You're a natural pro.
Oh my.
And you don't need all of this hammering. You're an emotional being. For you, that would be like, yes. And
that part has never stood out to me in that morning rampage before.
Right.
Never even thought about it.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, you're an emotional being. I'm like, duh.
Move on.
Yeah. Like, of course. Like, aren't we all?
No.
I was under the assumption that we all were.
We all are. But we don't identify.
Right.
By saying that, it's giving permission to people to be emotion.
Right.
To show emotion, to be emotional. That's why it's said.
Right.
It's like, you are an emotional being. It's like, oh, thank you. I've been holding those back. And she's like, no. Right? Like, you're an emotional being. You run on emotion. And you're like, oh, that's a little refreshing because I've been lying to people about how I actually feel this whole time, or I've been going to parties and I didn't want to go to them this whole time, or I've been, you know, like I'm not using my emotion to make decisions. Right. And that's not, you know.
That's not me at all.
Right.
Huh. Look at that.
There you go. See?
Well, thank you for that perspective.
You're welcome.
I appreciate that because you're right. I have struggled with that my whole life. Like, I'll cry in public. Or, like, at work.
Yeah.
I used to cry at school. I couldn't play the trumpet, and I cried. It was awful. It was so embarrassing. It got to the point where I was crying so much about things that I couldn't do that I was sent to the principal's office. And the principal was like, are you okay? And I was like, I think so. And they're like, I don't think so. Like, you cry a lot. And I'm like, yeah, I don't know.
Did you cry because you were brought to the principal's office?
Yeah, I cried in the office talking about why I cried.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. But I would cry over stupid things, like, you know, not being able to answer a question on a test, or like it's crazy things, you know? Mm-hmm. They're like, are you okay? Is everything okay at home? And I'm like, well, it's pretty normal.
No, but yes.
Yeah, like, I mean, everybody's got their problems at home. Like, let's be real. So, anyway, I've always struggled with that since then. And then, like, I would have jobs where I'd cry at the job over something seemingly not needing to cry over. Mm-hmm. And I used to try and, like, I used to be really hard on myself about that. Right. Like, I used to just be like, why are you like this? Everyone else can handle criticism at work and not cry, you know? Or something can go wrong and they don't cry. Why do you cry? Mm-hmm. You know? And that happened, like, all the way up. And now crying's really good at what I do because it really helps tap into the emotion of the videos that we're creating. Mm-hmm. So I know that I've done something right when I cry at work. Because it's like, yes, you did it. Mm-hmm. You're crying. Yeah. That's a sign. It's a really good sign. Yeah. So I've worked it into my favor, and I've, like, definitely owned that
part of you,
part of myself. Mm-hmm. Yes, more so than I did when I was, like, growing up. Mm-hmm. But I never thought about it that way. Yep. So thank you for that insight.
You're welcome.
Oh, look at it. Look at us go. Oh my God. I guess, yeah. Well, yeah, I guess I should just quit here and now then, because I'm this emotional being. Right? I've got it all.
Are you feeling like you
I've got it all
quit
figured
now?
out. No, not at all. I have so much work to do. And you guys get to come along for the ride. Mm-hmm. Hee hee.
Maybe the next podcast will be Micki's delivery.
Oh my gosh. What if it is?
Could be.
Yeah, if our podcasts are delayed, you guys know why.
That's right.
Let's just put that out there right now. Mm-hmm. According to the Ouija board, you have to go back to that episode. I don't know what number it is. It's like 3 or 4 or something, I think.
Ouija is in the title.
Ouija's in the title. Yeah. Yeah. The Ouija board said that this baby's coming a week today. Mm-hmm. December 10th.
Mm-hmm. So we'll see.
And the funny thing is, right now we have a we have a shoot scheduled for next Monday where I'm acting as though I'm going into labor with my husband. So that's hilarious. Because that could actually happen like at any point that day.
Definitely be the catalyst
or that night. Yeah. Because I'll be visualizing it. Like I'll be going
into
I'm gonna
labor.
be right, exactly. We're even like driving to the like everything.
Yeah.
Driving to the hospital.
That'll be a fun night.
It's gonna be an interesting day. That's for sure. But I mean, it could not happen.
Right. We'll see.
Right?
Yeah.
It could have been just Ouija being Ouija.
Yeah.
It's kind of the first test of the Ouija board, really.
It is.
In all the things that they've said.
That's right.
They did predict that it's gonna be a girl. And they
That's
did
true.
spell out the baby name we've picked for a girl.
Right.
So, like, we don't know if it's going to be a girl, but they said it's going to be a girl.
Right.
So that's another Ouija test.
That's right. So there's 2 tests.
That are going to be, we're going to know the answers to in a week.
That's right. Yeah.
Whoa. Stay tuned for that. And I am going to get my car. You're going to see it. It's going to be on our Instagram. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
I don't know when it's going to happen. But Mason's taking steps this week. He's detailing the car so that we can put it up for sale.
Cool.
My personal car. Because Catherine says, you can't buy a new car.
If you have a car?
If you have a car in your garage, where are you going to put the new car?
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm taking this literally.
Right.
I'm going to sell my car. And look for a new one.
Yeah. That's a great idea.
Yeah.
I can't do that with mine.
No, you
I'm
can't.
going to get a sports car, but in the summer.
Yeah, you can't do that in December. That's
No,
not going to do.
it's okay. I'm all right with that.
Yeah.
We should wrap up.
We should. I'm sorry. I'm yawning. I'm sorry. So, yes, thank you so much for listening if you made it all the way through.
Of course they did. They love us.
I love how confident you are with that every time. Oh, it's so funny. Okay. We hope you have a lovely day or
We're
night
wishing you
or
a joyful and abundant life.
a life full of joy and abundance.
That's right.
We mean that.
Yes.
Actually, legit.
And we really appreciate you listening to us.
Yes.
We really appreciate that. We saw the numbers of listeners and
we have 100. It was 123 plays yesterday.
Yeah.
Which is crazy.
That's very exciting.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
Of plays.
I am really shocked.
Yeah.
And pumped.
And really grateful for that.
Yeah, really grateful.
Whoever's listening, like, thank you.
Yes, thank you.
It's very nice. Please reach out if this resonated with you at all. Send us a message. We love that stuff.
Yes.
Or screenshot
or
this
leave
podcast
a review.
or leave a review.
Yeah.
That would be really great. Just any type of gesture to show us that you're listening is so appreciated.
Yeah.
And we're just so grateful to have anyone listen at all. So.
You can also check us out on Instagram at Our Manifestation Journey, where we post some photos and quotes and update podcasts and stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So if you want to head over there and check us out and send us a message or comment or like or whatever. Yeah, we'd be happy to hear from you.
We're looking forward to speaking with you soon.
Yes.
And have a great day.
Yes. Enjoy your day. Bye. Okay, bye.